Pentagon authorizes $1 billion in counter-drug money for Trump's border wall. Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan notified Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen of the transfer in a letter, released alongside the statement, which said the money will go to block up to 11 drug smuggling corridors along the border. News released by The Hill on MSN. Republicans block U.S. Senate Democrats' move on making Mueller report public. Washington, March 25. Reuters. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on Monday blocked a second attempt by Democrats to pass a measure aimed at prodding the Justice Department to release to the public Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report. News released by Reuters on MSN. Feeling vindicated by Mueller report, Trump's supporters turn their fire on the media. The assault on the media began almost immediately after it became clear there would be no legal assault on President Donald Trump from Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Only a few hours after the public learned from Attorney General William Barr on Sunday. News released by NBC News. The 4 biggest things Apple just announced, from TV to a credit card. Apple on Monday announced a trio of new subscription services offering TV and movies, video games, and news and magazines, as well as a new credit card. The move comes as the company, helmed. News released by Time. Israel strikes Hamas targets in Gaza after rocket hits house. The Israeli military says it has begun carrying out strikes on Hamas militant targets in the Gaza Strip, hours after a rocket struck a house in Israel. Witnesses reported hearing explosions across the Palestinian territory just before the military's. News released by BBC. Akron-based VIP Productions DJs pick 3 albums you should listen to. Akron, Ohio VIP Productions brings together the talents of Akron couple Precious McLaughlin and Vince Giles for dance music at concerts, weddings, karaoke nights, and more. By day, the 2 DJs work in an academic setting. McLaughlin works at a. News released by The Plain Dealer. Key Greenland glacier growing again after shrinking for years, NASA's study shows. Washington, a major Greenland glacier that was one of the fastest shrinking ice and snow masses on Earth, is growing again, a new NASA study finds. The Jakobshavn Glacier around 2012 was retreating about 1.8 miles and thinning nearly 130 feet annually. News released by NBC News. Michael Avenatti has been charged with trying to extort Nike. Here's what we know so far. High-profile attorney Michael Avenatti was arrested and charged Monday in separate federal investigations, including one that alleges he tried to extort $20 million from Nike. The United States. News released by Time. More wealthy parents under scrutiny by prosecutors in college admissions scandal. Sources familiar with the investigation but not authorized to discuss it say several parents and their attorneys have been informed they are the subject of the federal inquiry. More than 750 parents used self-described master coach William Rick. News released by Los Angeles Times. Keanu Reeves was the best companion on a bus ride with a bunch of stranded plane passengers. Actor Keanu Reeves made some new friends after his flight had to make an emergency landing this weekend. The John Wick actor was traveling from San Francisco to Burbank in Los Angeles when his. News released by Time. Canada grants asylum to family who sheltered Edward Snowden. March 26. UPI. A Filipino woman and her daughter who sheltered U.S. whistleblower Edward Snowden in Hong Kong have been granted asylum in Canada. Vanessa Rodell, 42, and her 7-year-old daughter Kiana Nyhinsa, landed Monday night at Toronto Pearson. News released by UPI. U.S. will not stand idly on Russian role in Venezuela, Pompeo. Washington, AFP. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo warned Russia Monday the United States will not stand idly by as Moscow inserts military personnel into Venezuela to support the regime of President Nicolas Maduro. In a phone call with Foreign Minister. News released by Yahoo News. French Muslim group sues Facebook, YouTube over footage of Christchurch massacre. Paris, Reuters. One of the main groups representing Muslims in France said on Monday it was suing Facebook and YouTube, accusing them of inciting violence by allowing the streaming of footage of the Christchurch massacre on their platforms. The French news released by Reuters. People are collecting money for Verizon employee that got suspended over rescuing a cat with company's equipment. Not all heroes wear capes, some wear hard hats and yellow vests. Maurice German, a Verizon employee, was working in Port Richmond when he answered the distressed call of neighbors regarding their cat Princess Mama, who had been stuck on a telephone pole for. News released by Bored Panda. Khloe Kardashian criticized for calling fan cute for working overtime to buy good American jeans. Khloe Kardashian was criticized on social media Monday after she posted that she thinks it's so cute that a potential customer plans to work 20 extra hours to be able to purchase a pair of good American jeans that are priced up to $189. The Twitter news released by Fox News. Parkland, Newtown apparent suicides put spotlight on survivors' guilt. I always thought, who am I to complain? Yes, I was trapped in a room. Yes, it was scary. Yes, I saw horrible things. But who am I to complain? A Columbine survivor said. Zach Cartia, a survivor of the 1999 Columbine High School massacre, with Emma. News released by NBC News. James Corden finds good news and bad news in the Mueller report. For James Corden, the Robert Mueller report on the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election was a case of good news and bad news. The bad news, the host of The Late Late Show said Monday, was the special counsel concluded that. News released by HuffPost. Ethiopian Airlines crash report likely to be released this week, says Transport Ministry. The preliminary report on the March 10 Ethiopian Airlines crash will very likely be released this week, Ethiopia's Transport Ministry spokesman told Reuters on Tuesday. It will vary. News released by Global News. Avocados are being recalled in 6 states over listeria concerns. A California-based avocado grower has issued a recall of avocados sent to at least 6 U.S. states over fears they could be contaminated by potentially fatal bacteria. Henry Avocado said Saturday. News released by Time.